is up, y'all? GenZFanatics back again. Following up my Thursday night episode. As you can see, I'm still in the same outfit because I'm recording this after this. And as you can see, EJ is still not here. Again, personal stuff going on this week. He has to take care of that. I respect that. But he will be back for the Sunday props episode because he really wants to give you guys his props for these games. Because these games are actually pretty good for week 3. So, Sunday score predictions episode. I am here giving you all my score predictions now. Since EJ is not here, he will post his score predictions on our Instagram. Follow us at GenZFanatics to see his predictions for this week. And since he is not here, I'm going to give you all of the games score predictions for Sunday afternoon and Sunday night football as well. Now, last week we did not have a good week altogether. EJ went 3-5. I went 4-3. He did have an extra game, obviously, but he went 3-5 and I went 4-3. That is not a good record at all. We both struggled for our predictions last week. But this week we are hoping to have a way better week. Our overall record was 7-8, so we're not 500 this week. That really sucks. It kind of hurts, but it is what it is. But anyways, we're here again, and I'm gonna give you guys this nice little episode, and we'll see what I got. So, first game of the slate, Falcons versus Lions. I think Falcons win this one 17-27. Lions struggled to move on offense last week. Also, Amon St. Brown is questionable with him leaving the game last week injured. So that may slow him down a little bit. And also, David Montgomery's also hurt. So that's another big injury in there. Well, but Gibbs will pick up the slack. But it will be enough to beat the Falcons' feisty defense with them impressing over the Packers, but the Lions' defense is better, so I expect this to be a defensive game. Lions win 17-27. Next game, Chargers versus Vikings. Chargers won't start 0-3 this year. They're going to win this game 28-21. Eckler is questionable for this game. If he plays, it'll give Minnesota a really tough day with them giving up 175 yards and a touchdown to DeAndre Swift on the Eagles. But Chargers get their first win. Vikings defense can't keep up with explosive offenses as we've seen with the Dolphins and then last week. So yeah, I mean it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, and we'll see what happens. But Chargers win this game, I think. Going on to the next game, Saints versus Packers. Packers will prevail 18-25. Saints offense struggled last night versus a young Carolina defense. Shout out to that defense, though. They played a hell of a game. But Packers defense will have a bounce back game and give Carr some trouble. Also, a shorter week than Green Bay could add up at the end of it, but Packers come out. Also, Aaron Jones is questionable. He might not play, but he might. So, if Jones does play, I see him giving the Saints some trouble. But the Saints lose this game 18-25. Texans versus Jags. So, Texans impressive game last week. Also, I told you guys, Nico Collins put him at your flex. He had a monster game. He showed very good ability last week. But despite an impressive game from the Texans last week, they still let a young Colts offense put up 31 points. And with the Jags being a much better offensive team, I think they hold off this division rival. But expect them to have a nail-biter once again because the Texans are feeling confident with how they performed last week on offense. And I think the Jags kind of feel a little bit sore from the Chiefs game. So expect this game to be a nail-biter as well. The Texans seem like all of their games will be that way this year. So expect that coming from that side of it. Next game, Broncos versus Dolphins. Dolphins, man. I'm a really sour taste in my mouth after that game. Cole Strange did get the first down. We lost off an instant replay again, but this time we did get it. Unlike in the Eagles game, we did not get it. This time we did get the first down, and I think that was BS. Even EJ texted me. He's like, bro, that was a first down. That was. So it's fine. The Dolphins could have that one. But with that being said, Broncos, however, did not look good last week, despite almost having a heroic comeback and pulling off the win. They did have a pretty impressive comeback and almost pulled off the miracle. However, Miami looked really strong against the pass, despite Hill being shut down, which we predicted, kind of. So Miami just looks strong this year again. Explosive offense. Broncos lost to Washington last week, which Miami's offense is way better than Washington's. So I'm expecting this to be trouble for Denver again, and Denver just does not look good this year, as I said. Titans versus Browns. First of all, before I get into this game, prayers up to Nick Chubb and the Browns and everybody that has him in fantasy. That was a really ugly injury last night. It ended his season. It could end his career. I don't think he'll be the same, unfortunately, but just very sad to see Chubb get hurt. I love Chubb. He's one of the best backs in the league, and it just breaks my heart. So, Titans versus Browns. Despite Tennessee having a massive game versus the Chargers, I think the Browns having home field advantage. Check the weather report before this game before you place any bets. But home field advantage and coming off a game they surely want to forget. They reassure the dominance and hold off this pesky Titans team. I think the Browns prevail. Ford coming up as the backup back. I think he has a huge game in this. And Deshaun Watson needs to have a bounce back game. He really does. So I think the Browns win this game 22-27. Now, Bills versus Commanders. Commanders finally play a good team. Okay, let's put it that way. Bills win 29-17. Bills dominated a much better offense last week. Much better offense than the Commanders. But with the Commanders nearly blowing a lead, they almost blew it at the end. And they won to a rigged, just a terrible Broncos team. It was terrible. But Washington can't keep up off the Bills offensively. Defensively, maybe. I don't know. I don't think Washington's defense is all that good because they haven't really played anybody good yet. At the end of the day, it is Washington, and we know how Washington are. So I think the Bills win this game controllingly, 29-17. Now going on to the Colts versus Ravens. Lamar is questionable for this game, but I still think the Ravens will win 21-30 if Lamar plays. If Lamar does not play, oh man, I don't know how this one will go, but this is the assumption that he does play. I think he'll be fine. And Ravens defense keeps taking hits to their secondary. And Colts seem like they find a way to score versus struggling defenses, which they have in the last 2 weeks. And Baltimore seems to struggle to score on offense for some reason. Their explosive offense, I don't see why they struggle to score. Also, OBJ got hurt last week, and this will open up the field to Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman. Ravens edge this young Colts team, I think, and they come away with the win, 21-30. For the 4 o'clock slate of games, for the first one, Panthers versus Seahawks. Last night, Panthers defense again showed a pretty impressive game from them. But I think the Seahawks still win this one 18-31 because Seattle had an incredible game last week versus Detroit. Incredible game. And Carolina is on a short week again. Also, they couldn't put up points on the talented Saints defense with Bryce Young throwing under 200 yards as EJ predicted, right? And the run game was doing absolutely nothing. Miles Sanders had only 43 yards and no touchdowns, which was kind of sad for me because I have him in fantasy. But I just don't see Carolina scoring. It's just Seahawks run defense, however, is ranked 26th as of right now. But just everything I saw from Carolina in the past 2 weeks, I don't see them scoring that much on this Seahawks team. and they're going to Seattle. Very tough environment to play in. So with Carolina not having it quite figured out yet, going into Seattle in a really tough place to play, I think Seahawks have the edge on this one. But stranger things have happened, so we'll see. Bears versus Chiefs. I just want to say Bears are purely awful. I mean, pure awful. Last week against the Bucks, Justin Fields got embarrassed. He threw two interceptions, one in his own end zone that led to a pick six. Disgusting. I mean, that was just, man. If I'm a Bears fan, I'm hurt. Now I have to play the Chiefs. Oh God. So Bears versus Chiefs, 19-35. Chiefs control this game. They play an explosive Chiefs offense. Well, I can't say anything else to that, and their defense is terrible. They showed nothing against the two offenses that aren't as good as the Chiefs. So Bears go 0-3. Unfortunately, they continued their 12-game win streak from last October, and they added to 13, which is embarrassing. Anyways, going on to the Cowboys versus Cardinals. So, again, Cowboys fans are going to be hype about this one. First three games, pretty easy games, comparing the two defenses and offenses. Again, they play a weak team. Despite Arizona nearly beating the Giants last week, please don't start saying Arizona's good. I know Cowboys fans are mad, but they did. No, shut up. Cowboys versus Cardinals. Cowboys win 34-15. And a much worse team than Dallas, who the Giants played. Okay? Or the Cardinals played. Cardinals played a much worse team than Dallas last week and almost beat them. Okay? Cardinals are not beating the Cowboys. And also, the team that Cardinals played last week, Giants, Dallas 40-0'd at home. So Dallas defense is going to shred this Arizona team. I don't see them playing the way they are this week. I think they've gotten some lucky things to go their way in the past two games. But this week, the Arizona hope shuts down. Dallas dominates, and sadly, they go to 0-3 or 3-0. I wish they went to 0-3, but 3-0 with their easy schedule to start the year. So that's what I gotta say about that. Cowboys win that. 34-15. Now for my Sunday night football prediction: Steelers versus Raiders. Last night, Steelers defense came up big. Now Kenny Pickett though is being questioned as is he the guy in Pittsburgh? First two games he has not had anything at all. Last night, Steelers won because of their defense, and the Browns just had a terrible day. So, this game will be a defensive game. Steelers win 20-17. With both offenses showing both sides of the hand, what I mean by this is they've shown good things, but more bad things, right? So far this season, at least. I think seeing what Steelers defense did to a Browns strong offense last night, they will have some impact. Or not some. They will have the same impact on this Vegas team, and TJ Watt will destroy this weak Vegas O-line. And I think the Steelers edge just won out by a field goal. The Raiders have a better offense than the Steelers do as of right now, but I think the Steelers defense is something to reckon with right now. TJ Watt is that guy. So that's my Sunday score predictions. Again, EJ's not here. He will post his score predictions on our Instagram at GenZFanatics. And then, Game of the Week will be our next episode where special guest Stevie, a Jets fan, Pats fan, Patriots versus Jets. We need punishments. Comment punishments down below. Please, you have till Monday night to comment a punishment because we will come together and decide on one. Whichever team wins. I'm not going to say anything about my Patriots. I think, obviously, we all know what I'm thinking because it is the Jets. They suck. So, pray to God. But I'm not going to say anything until that episode comes out. Please drop punishments down below. And, that is our Game of the Week. I'll see you guys on that episode.